Hello and welcome. I'm Cramsick, and that's not my real name, and you don't need to know it, but if you look hard enough, you can find it. I love going live because it's kind of like we're breaking stuff there. In front of me, I have a Yamaha PSR6 and a Casio CTK 50 and a 60. I don't even know the full capacity of the equipment that I have, so that's awesome. You're sitting with me in my garage. The microphone is on the table. The chair rolls over things that are uncomfortable. They make noises. I'm learning that this Yamaha has some interesting settings where it's like on a delay. I like it. That's my dog. All right. I have my one special viewer that sees nothing but can listen to my radio show. Interesting. I didn't stop it. Oh, maybe it's giving me something new. I like that. Bum, 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 bum. Today is my nephew's 3rd birthday. Let's give a high five all around for number 3. Apparently the terrible 2s don't end when they turn 3. So let's send some patience and fortitude to my sister. This is fun because I can do whatever I want. And there's no script. But I will tell you that an ex-councilman from my town got a hold of me today and asked if he should run for the county commissioner position. Whew. That went into a whole, thing. I don't know why anybody in the world would ask me if they should run for a political position, because I'm not a big fan of government. I want people to self-govern, like I want them to feel confident enough in themselves to be able to do that without a structure that we have to call government. But I also appreciated the fact that another human would ask me because I think a lot and I have some opinions. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. can... Hey, Yamaha, you did a great job with the PSR 6. I'm just really late to the keyboard game. Joy. Full joy. As I've already stated, my channel is not about what the other channels are about. This is an experience. And it's happening to me as it's happening to you as you're listening to it if you're live. And it's still also happening to you if you listen to it later. And the cool thing about that is we need to face the fact that we are nodal explosions. What is a nodal explosion? Okay. So in the world, you could meet me and I could shake your hand and I could tell you my name and you would be like, oh, that's her. But I'm a nodal. I'm a node. You're a node too. Nodes are really weird and interesting because you get to choose what your node is going to represent in the greater construct and interaction. Gosh, I really need to send a thank you note to Yamaha. Like, this is great. I love it. I'm sorry to be so excited about a secondhand keyboard that costs $7. Okay. Okay. So the title on this is something about breaking stuff, and some people are like, "Don't break it," like it's not broken. Oh my goodness, we live in a broken reality. And I really think that we can fix it, honestly. I remember as a child, people telling me that, like, if I wanted to fix things, that what I needed to do was I needed to get in on the inside and fix it from the inside out. And that's true for your actual selfhood, but it's completely wrong when it comes to the externalization of fixing things. You're more apt to get caught in some sort of weird external loop by doing that. So I don't do that. I do want to fix myself. It's a slow process. But I'm committed to being here, as uncomfortable as it may be. So my friend got a hold of me tonight, and he's not even like my original friend. He's a friend of my cousin who's 5 years older. And the reason that we have even had like adult interaction is because I'm a writer, if you didn't know. And I'm not a writer like I get paid to write. I'm not a writer like I work for the newspaper or something. I'm just a person who likes to write and has a blog. And I write about the things that I find interesting. And this person is very interesting. So they reached out to me and asked me. I'm sure they asked other people. I'm not the only one. If they should run for being county commissioner. And I kind of had a vague idea about what a county commissioner does, but then I had to look it up to just make sure. And it's the person who holds the purse strings of the county. Oh my goodness. Like, who in their right mind would want that position? So, our text conversation went for a while and inevitably ended up in me giving a bit of a rant. So I want to share with you a little bit of that, because basically it was just me asking a bunch of questions and then bouncing it off of what I already know about this person, and then getting some feedback. Lasers and some... Dude, thank you. So fun. All right. Why would anybody want to be the purse strings for a county? Who'd want to control that? This is coming from a person who's better at spending than saving. I'll just admit that. What I wanted to happen, I guess, in the conversation is that I've done a little bit of research on some integral and important people that are elected official type people in my town. And there's a lot of nefarious stuff happening. But I'm not going to go name calling and dragging up that stuff, because honestly, I don't feel like I can stand behind my personal research, because it hasn't been backed up by other people. I almost feel like if my friend would look into the things that I've tossed over to the side and we expounded further on that, it would be more beneficial than running for a public service position that is elected through the community. Mainly because our mayor is a shoo-in with no competition. Gosh, you're probably so annoyed by the keyboard, but I'm super enthralled by it. Anyway, my friend wants to run for a different public position, and he was already on city council. And at the end of it, he was so tired and drained and despondent, in the sense that he felt like he had put years worth of work into something and it didn't pay off the way that he wanted, or like even make him feel like he accomplished anything. So realistically, for himself, he had to go back and look at what he did and give himself acknowledgement for what he did. Other people were doing it, but there were more people squashing it and less actual proofs of what he did. So then it was kind of, I don't know, mundane, and he felt useless and tired at the end. So I wasn't necessarily going to encourage him to run for another public position, knowing that when he was in the last public position, it was not awesome for him. But there are other things to take into account, which are He's one of the non-baby maker people, and I'm also a non-baby maker person. So our priorities are different, specifically in community focus and direction, than people are like actively trying to have children and then having children. And the difference that makes is when you do have children, you're probably less likely to be involved in civic action, specifically in civically elected roles. But you're still feeling like the people who are taking those roles are important because they'll affect your children. I've got nieces and a nephew, if I'm properly speaking. And I love them. And I remember once upon a time, I was a kid. So if I'm looking at the future and what I can do that will help them, I'm bouncing it off of my own experience, even though the world has changed so much from the time that I was their age to now. And I've contemplated getting into government, trying to go there, because I like Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. I really like her character, and Ron Swanson, because that's me split down the middle. If you ask me about government, there's the person who has the goodwill that wants to do all the things, and then there's the person who wants to shut it all down and see what happens. So as the person I am, if a friend asks me if they should pursue more politics, initially I do not encourage that. But I see why and how it's important, and it exists, and it's super awesome that there are people out there who want to go that route, that trying to fix stuff. However, a lot of what is happening there is able to be bounced off through the reflective of the self, of just working on the self. And here's the funny part. My friend who has been in a government position and asking me if they should pursue another government position, if you were to categorize this person, they're an anarchist. That was so cool. That was so cool. I did that. I don't know how that happened. So anyway, he's probably more akin to an anarchist because he's really into the idea of self-authority and being able to do stuff for yourself, but he also is interested in history. And so then getting involved in these things is part of making an effort on a bigger spectrum involving other people. And I was just kind of like, man, if you get into a government position, people are just going to look at you even more than they already do. And you don't necessarily like how they look at you. So you got to be okay with that. But also just we're in a time where people who choose to take political positions are so much under the microscope that it's have to deal with stuff in their life that isn't political necessarily. It's just extra stuff to judge. And there was advertisement for my town for a position to apply for a position in the city planning commission or something like that. And I've complained for years that we must not have a city planner that knows anything about planning a city, because what's happening is out of control and doesn't seem like a good plan or a purposeful plan. And so when I saw that they were trying to build this committee for city planning, I was like, oh, tempted, real tempted. But then when I broke it down, I was kind of like, actually, I don't want more surveillance on my life, and I don't really want to argue with people or be put in a situation where I'm going to have to defend something that people obviously don't understand already, but they've lived here forever. And it's just now they're thinking about it. And part of it is I've been told my whole life that I'm an intimidating person. So if I put myself on a committee, I'm opening myself up to be criticized and found intimidating by a bunch of other people that I don't really want looking at me like that. So, did I apply? Nope. I think that this is more important. I think me sitting with a Yamaha PSR 6, purposefully in my mind breaking concepts, is more important. And that might not make sense, but it does to me. This is very realizable, and it's not always fulfilling or whatever. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and be like, whew, that took it out of me. But I'm also bleeding because I'm a woman, and that's what we do when we're women, and that's draining too. So a lot of my creative surges are aligned with that. Now, how could I align government with my menstrual cycle? I'm not even going to try and think about what a solution would be for that, because it's so absurd and disconnected at this point. But probably someday, not in a feminist kind of way, but women will be running the world and they'll all be synced up, bleeding together. It's going to be awesome and chaotic. So just pull on your big man pants for that crap. It's going to be weird. I love it. I love all this. Ooh, isn't that fun? That's what's fun. To sit down and be like, the amount of weird circus material happening right now is just so delightful. Good time, fun sauce. Okay. So we talked politics. That was uneventful, not very exciting, and if you got something from it, great. But let's shift the tone. I don't know what this is. They all kind of sound the same, right? Yamaha built in basically a chaos setting. I wonder what it looked like to have the actual user's manual to this, because you hear that? That's me just scraping keys. Let's see what happens. It's on a delay. It's going to be like... Exactly. I love it. Oh my goodness. Let's give a high five to every broken person in the world. We are acknowledging our brokenness and fixing it in weird ways. Not the way they tell you to. So it's awesome. I got your back, bro. So today, there was a weird situation for me. And weird just in the sense that I'm one of those people that acknowledge the fact that when I deal with technology and sound, frequency, and vibration, that it's not just isolated to sounds. It's in the writing, it's in the viewing, it's in the posting, it's in all this stuff. And there's this, contributor of content on YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitter. And it's a quote unquote local publication for me. And it's so fun when it stops and then starts again. So anyway, this channel or whatever on Twitter that's local for me always posts news articles from everywhere but here. And that just bothers me as a local publication. Like, give me what's local. Instead, you're talking about Pennsylvania, you're talking about Texas, you're talking about anything that isn't actually local. So this article comes up. Let's get up on this. It bothered me on a level of specificity, which was, what does this mean? All right. I have to look it up. And so I'm searching 2 kids dead in Pennsylvania. What I recall from the article, without having greater detail, because this was like the AP Wire kind of pop that came through my local news, is like 2 young siblings in Pennsylvania. One was like 4 and the other one 8 or something, were found dead by their mother. Okay? They were found dead by their mother. Or they were found by their mother unconscious. And then they were taken to the hospital and they died 20 minutes apart from each other. But there's no... They give no explanation why the children would be unconscious potentially injured, or why they were alone and then found by their mother because their father is not involved in their life. And when I say let's break some stuff, when I saw that article, it was kind of a confirmation to me that, yeah, we're breaking things. I want to hear something like, all right, we're breaking stuff with 11. Listen to this article. It's so friggin' weird. Brother, sister, dead after being found unconscious inside Berks County, Pennsylvania home. Please don't play the video. I don't want to hear you. I just want to read the article. All right. Albany Township, Pennsylvania. 2 young siblings who were found unconscious inside a home in Berks County earlier this week have died, authorities said. Brinley Snyder, 4, was pronounced dead at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest, in Allentown on Thursday afternoon. Her brother, Connor, 8, died shortly after. First responders were called to the house on the 2400 block of Route 143 in Albany Township around 4 p.m. Monday. Once inside, they found the 8-year-old boy and 4-year-old girl unconscious. Both were flown to the hospital. The coroner's office said Friday that autopsies will be done to determine the cause of death. The deaths are being investigated by the Pennsylvania State Police Hamburg Barracks with assistance from Berks County District Attorney's Office. Okay. I don't know what injuries might have occurred on these children. I don't know why they were alone. And I don't know why this is popping up on my feed from a local station reporting stuff happening out of Pennsylvania. So I saw this earlier and my friend came over, and when I showed him the video about it, he's like, did they just say Allentown? And I was like, yeah, Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's Berks County, but it was Allentown. And he's like, I am obsessed with this song right now. And then he sent me, or he played for me, rather, the song that he was referring to. And later, after we talked, he sent me the lyrics to the song, which in his mind brought up that this was like a precursor of something, in the sense that it was overlapping to his experience with the song that he found. And the lyrics to the song, let me see if I can, I don't know, I don't think he wrote down who it's by, but the lyrics are, I'm on a journey to discover what it's like to be free of all my demons, to be free of all my demons. Contents on the counter knocked out of their place. A late 80s biker bar just doing its thing. The drugs from all our parents stuck inside our veins. I traded you for Vicodin, just doing my thing. I used to be a lawyer, now I just talk a lot. I'm the king of Allentown, this parking lot. I am on a journey to discover what it's like to be free of all my demons, to be free of all my demons. While it don't affect me, not like it used to. I'm on a journey to discover what it's like to be free. I am on a journey to discover what it's like. Contents on the counter knocked out of their place, to be free of all my demons, to be free of all my demons. A late 80s biker bar just doing its thing while it don't affect me, not like it used to. The drugs from all our parents stuck inside our veins. I'm on a journey to discover what it's like. I traded you for Vicodin, just doing my thing, to be free of all my demons, to be free of all my demons. I used to be a lawyer. Now I just talk a lot. I am on a journey to discover what it's like. I'm the king of Allentown, this parking lot. And it repeats that. There's also a song by Billy Joel called Allentown, if I'm correct. And I used to be kind of obsessed with Billy Joel, but I never really liked Allentown as a song. It was kind of a B-side song. I only appreciated it when I listened to it later and was able to feel how depressing that is. 1982, that was the year my brother was born. The nylon curtain. Where do you have a nylon curtain? In your shower. Where do you go to get clean? Something's happening, and so I record to break things because I see that this stuff is happening, and I have to talk about it so that I can break it and share it. And I think that people that I appreciate a mosaic, and a mosaic is made of broken pieces. A mosaic is made of broken things. But you cannot build the foundation of something new on the broken parts of stuff, broken foundation. You have to clear the path and start over. Because if you build something on a broken foundation, it's just going to be even more broken. It's not going to have resilience. It's not strong. It's so amazing that we live in a world today where there are so many people paying attention and noticing and observing and disseminating information that we can confidently say what we were built upon was already broken. So let's break it. Let's break it all the way down, and let's be willing to start over. Let's clear the rubble. Let's take the work and do it with joy. Because it's going to be better than trying to build something new on something that's broken and won't have longevity. I'm so excited for our future. I'm so excited for the souls of this world, the people who are here, who are listening, who are paying attention, and in their own trajectory, being an exploding node. What does it mean to be an exploding node? It means that you're not just trying to fix the physical world. You're trying to fix yourself. You're trying to fix the greater construct. You're trying to evaluate where you actually stand and what you're worth. But when the power and thought and energy come into you, you probably don't have anybody to reach out to commiserate. And so it feels like it's trapped inside of you. And that pressure is just the same as the pressure a person feels when they bottle up their emotions that need to be released. We know, because we are conscious of our spirits, that we can release that pressure in certain ways. And nobody really encourages us to do it like we're doing. But I know I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be like, I see where the difference is, and I had a hand in that. I had a hand in that because I didn't just hold it to myself. I gave it to you. I gave it to the world, and it wasn't something that you didn't have already. It was just somebody reminding you. It's beautiful. And I think it's super weird that people are still operating on a level where they feel like it's out of their control. But if you're quote unquote a normal person, you've got a lot to deal with and focused on, and this probably isn't your priority. It might have been at one point, but the actual act of living and supporting other people, it's drawn your attention away from your power in this regard. I'm going to say, don't forget your power in this regard, even though you're doing other things. Because even though you're doing other things, it's still affecting the power that you have and the output that you have in this other realm that might not be a priority right now. It is so beautiful. And it's a shame that more people aren't connecting on that level right now, because that's my impatience. I don't believe it'll be like that forever. Um, I take it personally because I want what I want. And what I want is to be able to not talk to myself into the ether about these things. I want to sit face to face with souls and commiserate and expound on the totality of what it is to sit in appreciation in physicality while we have our physicality, because at some point we aren't going to have that, and that's going to be great. But while we're here and we feel so heavy, the best way we can lift each other up is to be with each other for real and use that energetic thing that I can't even find a name for beyond creation, to prop each other up and see more and share more and be and do more, but not just because that's what we're told to do, but because there's a way that we exist within ourselves that we know is true and in alignment and needs support. And that's not the construct we live in, even if we know it's true. The world is beautiful. People are beautiful, and amazing can happen out of nothing, honestly. I guess if I'm the one reminding you of this, then I hope that you find peace in that. But don't take it from me. Experiment with it and test it. You're beautiful. The world is weird and imbalanced. And we want to live in a world that might be weird but balanced. And the balance all comes from us and where we see it in ourselves. So, I hope you didn't hate the weird stuff that came out of my Yamaha or my mouth. I hope that tomorrow, even if it feels broken, it feels fit. It feels maybe not completely fixed, but different in the sense that you find it more relatable, and maybe you see how you can interact with it a little bit better. The way that you are you, beautifully you, without having to try and be something that you're not. I mean, I think we all want that, right? So, here's my salutation.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good night. I love you. Good night.